I feel like I've lost something near and dear to me, something that has held a special place deep inside my heart, the feeling that has slowly withered away into nothingness. There was a time when this pick was even remotely possible, back in the days of Hunter's Machete and physically weaker jungle camps, but those days are long gone and can no longer be relived. So can ZOE Jungle? You already know what the answer is, but I'm going through all the beats anyways, because, you know what time it is. It's time to look at her kit. ZOE's passive, More Sparkles, gives her a Spellblade effect. Every time she casts or recasts an ability, ZOE's next auto attack will deal bonus magic damage. ZOE's Q, Paddle Star, is her main damaging ability. ZOE throws a star in the target direction, and she can then recast Q again to launch the star in a different direction. The damage of the star depends on how far the projectile has traveled, and ZOE can influence the distance it can travel by traveling alongside it. Compare this ability to an advanced Nidalee Spear. ZOE's W, Spell Thief, is one of the most creative abilities in the game. Whenever an ally or enemy uses Summoner Spell or active item, they will drop a spell bubble. ZOE can pick up spell bubbles to use these spells herself, and whenever she uses a summoner spell, whether her own or a bubble, she will gain movement speed and surround herself with orbs that will damage enemies, kinda like Ahri's W. This ability gives ZOE massive outplay potential. ZOE's E, Sleepy Trouble Bubble, is the first ability of its kind to add a completely new type of CC to the game, Sleepy. Sleepy enemies are slowed for a certain amount of time until they fall asleep. Asleep enemies are pretty much stunned, except they wake up whenever they're attacked. Asleep enemies also take bonus damage from whatever attack or spell hits them. ZOE's ultimate, Portal Jump, is pretty much just another basic ability. ZOE jumps through 2 portals, temporarily blinking her a fixed distance, and after a certain amount of time, she jumps back to where she was when she activated the ability. This is primarily used to find angles to land E, extend Q distance, and can even be used to dodge skill shots if you're good enough. So, right off the bat, ZOE's kit actually does look like she could easily clear jungle camps. I mean, just look at her. It's not one ability that's good, but all 3 of her basic abilities and her passive just kinda scream jungle clear champ. Q is an AoE that procs her passive not once but twice. Her W increases her movement speed and effectively makes Smite do more damage. The ability can be used exceptionally often because of how relatively low the cooldown is of Smite. Her E also immobilizes targets and increases damage done to them. So what's her problem? ZOE's base stats. They're exceptionally low. Especially one simple, vital stat that every jungler needs at least 23 at level 1 to successfully clear the jungle. And that's armor. ZOE starts the game with 21 armor at level 1. This makes her extremely vulnerable to jungle camps, regardless of getting a leash or not. Most champs able to easily clear the jungle usually start off the game with 23 or more base armor at level 1. They all always also take an armor secondary rune, and while ZOE does take normal attack speed, adaptive force, armor, rune shards, the 6 bonus armor doesn't add up to enough survivability, at least not enough to have what would be considered a good clear. So, let's talk about the clear she has. It's incredibly slow. This alone is why I'm saying now, no. ZOE cannot clear the jungle, but I'm not done. Why would I not finish this video without showing you what clears and ganks and builds and whatever? Your clear starts at red buff on blue side, blue buff on red side. You want the leash to keep you as healthy as possible throughout your whole clear. Start E if you're getting a leash, start W if you're leashless. Leashless. Whoosh. If you think you'd start with Paddle Star, level 1 is the obvious choice, but stunning the buff early is just a bit too valuable. It's harder to kite the camp around without the movement speed or CC. On blue side, move to blue buff, Gromp, wolves, chickens, krugs. Make sure you have smite save for chickens or krugs, or chances are you'll die. Red side, go to Gromp, red, krugs, chickens, wolves. Killing Gromp on either side is so important because when you clear Gromp, it restores health and mana to you based on average champion level. Gromp keeps you happy and healthy. Now, ZOE's actually pretty dang good at ganking, especially after she finishes upgrading Smite. Knowing how unhealthy her clear is, you're going to be using Smite a lot. Anyways, Sleepy Trouble Bubble is an amazing ganky tool. It travels through walls, extending the distance. Hitting the trouble bubble, amazing ability name by the way, guarantees a kill or at the very least summoner spells about 90% of the time. This ability is deadly. Ganking on ZOE is pretty much the exact same thing you do on mid lane ZOE. Hide behind a wall, wait for a good moment to strike, and hit them with the devastating bubble blast. Or do what normal people do and run it down like a madman and shoot them point blank. My point being, she has some pretty swanky ganks. But, like I said, none of that really matters because she's just so squishy in the jungle. She can't heal off camps, she can't collect spell bubbles from jungle camps. Actually, that would probably make this pick probably usable. Riot, please let ZOE collect summoner spells from jungle camps, that would be amazing, thank you. Let's talk about runes! Since I was struggling to find something successful while doing all this, I actually have a few rune pages that could maybe work. First page is the rune page I used in my last video, the Control Survival rune page. Glacial Augment for most ganks. By the way, I need to rant. Season 11 absolutely ruined Glacial Augment. Most of the items that worked with it are now just gone. Only 4 items work with it now, and the champions that would want to take this rune don't build items that would synergize with Glacial Augment. Fix it. Thanks. Anyway, Glacial Augment is good for ganking, especially if you decide to build Neverfrost. And Electrocute is just your standard ZOE page. And the builds. Oh boy, I don't know what to say. Maybe you should just build Nashor's Tooth, because attack speed really helps out in the jungle. But it's not like it really matters, because you'll finish the item after you actually need it. But you don't lose that much burst damage buying Nashor's, and it enables you to play ZOE a bit like a bruiser. But really, a good item to actually take would be Everfrost or Ludens. Everfrost is especially good when you take Glacial Augment RIP. I can't even really recommend more items after this. ZOE Jungle is so bad that you're probably going to lose Nexus at 15. If you think you can actually make this pick work, please tell me how you managed to do it, because I legitimately used to love playing this pick in Season 9 and 10 when Hunter's Machete was still a thing. I honestly regret making this video. Playing ZOE Jungle was extremely unfun, unlike how it used to be. But I went ahead and made the video anyway, because I made that promise. And Peckinwolf, Challenger Pro streamer, he played ZOE Jungle, so I'm going to leave it off with a few words from him.
Any ZOE Jungle tips? Thanks for the 4 months, Nulpo. Yeah, if you have 3 winning lanes, she's really good, so, good luck.